The series opens at a fundraiser hosted at Monte Vista Point, a country club run by general manager Josh and his wife Lindsay. As they oversee the event, a younger couple, Austin and Ashley, work nearby. Once the night winds down, Josh and Lindsay send off the guests and drive home, where tension between them quickly surfaces. Their conversation reveals lingering resentment, including Lindsay bringing up a past birthday Josh failed to remember. Back at the club, Austin and Ashley share a quiet, intimate moment before being interrupted by an employee who reminds them that everything must be perfect for the arrival of a new owner from South Korea the next day. She also hands them Josh's misplaced wallet and asks them to return it. When Josh and Lindsay reach their large home, their argument intensifies. They clash over long-delayed plans to turn part of the house into a bed and breakfast, and deeper frustrations emerge. Lindsay resents giving up her inheritance to support Josh's sick mother, while their relationship has grown distant, with no physical closeness for nearly a year. The conflict escalates into a physical struggle. At that moment, Austin and Ashley arrive to return the wallet. Hearing noise from a nearby shed, they approach and look through the window, where they see Josh raising a golf club as if to strike Lindsay. Ashley records the moment on her phone. When the couple inside notices them, alerted by their barking dog, Austin and Ashley panic and flee. Driving away, Austin insists they should report what they saw, but Ashley refuses, worried about her full-time job at the club and the consequences of speaking out. Austin reluctantly agrees to stay silent. Inside the shed, Josh and Lindsay try to downplay what happened, nervously discussing how far things went while cleaning up. Though they act calm, both are clearly unsettled by being seen. The next morning, Josh gathers the staff to prepare for the new owner's arrival. During the meeting, his attention lingers on Ashley, making her uneasy. She texts Austin while he stays home, preparing for a virtual training session that ends up canceled. Left alone, he replays the video Ashley recorded, then decides to visit Lindsay. He offers support and suggests reporting the incident, but Lindsay dismisses him, insisting that arguments like theirs are normal. She even suggests that couples who never fight might be hiding something, leaving Austin questioning his own relationship. At the club, Josh corners Ashley on the golf course and warns her to keep quiet about what she witnessed, threatening her job. Shaken, she agrees. Later, while working, she is struck by sharp abdominal pain and becomes sick. Soon after, the new owner arrives, Chairwoman Park, accompanied by her translator, Eunice. As Lindsay shows her the renovations, Chairwoman Park rejects nearly all of them, stating that she wants someone else to redo the work. The criticism leaves Lindsay discouraged. Josh later reassures her while also admitting that his own position is uncertain as his contract has yet to be renewed. At the hospital, Ashley learns she has an ovarian cyst that will require surgery and may affect her ability to have children. The news leaves her shaken. She attempts to share it with her father over FaceTime, but he is distracted and unable to focus on her. Elsewhere, Lindsay notices the new tennis instructor watching her and responds with a knowing smile. Meanwhile, Josh speaks with a club member named Troy about his contract. Troy promises to rally support among the members if needed, giving Josh some reassurance. That night, Ashley and Austin try to reconnect at home, but her thoughts remain on her diagnosis. She tells him about the cyst and her fears about the future. Later, she watches the recorded video again. At their own house, Josh retreats to the shed, while Lindsay scrolls through her phone, exchanging flirtatious messages with the tennis instructor and other men, including an ex named Desmond. Meanwhile, Ashley and Austin arriving at Josh and Lindsay's doorstep with cookies. The two couples greet each other awkwardly. Josh and Lindsay reluctantly invites Ashley and Austin inside their home. The tension is immediate as the younger couple attempts to leverage what they witnessed. Their initial approach fails, but Ashley shifts tactics and reveals the video on her phone, forcing Josh into a corner. With no room to maneuver, he agrees to promote her at the country club. Afterward, Ashley and Austin drive home, processing what just happened. Ashley is thrilled with the outcome, a higher-paying position with benefits and paid vacation. Austin, however, believes they could have demanded more, even something for himself. Though Ashley briefly considers going back, Austin tells her to leave it as it is. Back at the house, Josh and Lindsay are shaken. Josh tries to convince himself the situation is contained now that Ashley got what she wanted, but Lindsay disagrees. She believes the leverage will never truly go away and suggests they leave the club entirely. Josh insists they still have control. The next morning, Ashley arrives at work energized by her promotion. She quickly gets started and heads to Josh's office with paperwork, but he dismisses it as outdated. Instead, he focuses on one thing, making sure the video is gone. Ashley deletes it in front of him, though both know it may exist elsewhere. After she leaves, Josh realizes the situation is far from resolved. Elsewhere, Lindsay overhears that the tennis instructor, Whoosh, has been sending the same flirtatious messages to multiple women as part of a sales tactic. Though she pretends not to care, the revelation clearly unsettles her. At the club, Josh receives a call from his sister Sarah regarding outstanding debt tied to their late mother. She questions him about suspicious financial issues, but he brushes her off and ends the conversation abruptly. Later, Lindsay spends time outside and reconnects with her ex, Desmond, after unblocking him. She eventually meets Whoosh for a tennis lesson, where he mentions an expensive skincare clinic in South Korea. When he refuses to offer a discount, Lindsay turns the situation around, pressuring him with a threat to report his behavior unless he cooperates. Meanwhile, Josh socializes with club members, including Troy, who reveals that the new owner is already considering replacements for Josh's position. During a card game, Josh loses money to Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps, forcing him to sell valuable items from his shed to cover the debt. Ashley, now settling into her new role, gives Chairwoman Park a tour of the gym alongside her translator Eunice. When Ashley mentions her boyfriend is a trainer, Chairwoman Park initially shows little interest, but once Ashley adds that he is half Korean, Park becomes intrigued and mentions her husband needs a physical therapist. Thinking quickly, Ashley lies and claims Austin is licensed, securing him an opportunity. That night, Ashley tells Austin he has a chance at a full-time role, but must present himself as a licensed physical therapist. Though he doubts it's possible, Ashley insists she has a plan. Elsewhere, Lindsay and Whoosh video call a South Korean doctor, Dr. Kim, who outlines a costly skincare procedure. It's revealed that Dr. Kim is Chairwoman Park's husband, linking their situations even further. The next morning, Josh quietly contacts the bank to restrict his sister's access to an account tied to their late mother. While in his office, he approves an expense form listing his deceased mother as a paid service provider, hinting at a fraudulent scheme. When Ashley enters, she hands him a fake physical therapy license for Austin, which he accepts without question. He then gives her invoices to send out, including the suspicious one. Later, Josh confides in Lindsay about his plan to siphon money from the club by routing payments through fabricated services under his mother's name. He believes this will give them the financial freedom to finally pursue their long-delayed bed and breakfast. The two reconnect physically afterward. Across town, Austin arrives at Chairwoman Park's home for what he expects to be a session with her husband, but instead ends up working with Eunice, while Park remains occupied on a call. Meanwhile, Chairwoman Park learns from her husband in Seoul, Dr. Kim, that he has accidentally caused a patient's death during surgery, leaving her stunned. Park instructs him to attribute the death to a pre-existing condition and prepares to travel to South Korea to handle the situation with legal counsel. Although she initially wants all procedures halted, the staff warns that doing so would raise suspicion, so operations continue under tighter caution. Back in America, Austin conducts a physical therapy session at Chairwoman Park's house, but instead of treating her, he works with Eunice. The interaction becomes charged and lingers longer than expected. At the same time, Josh and Lindsay share a quiet moment in the shed after reconnecting, feeling closer than they have in a long time. They begin expanding their plans for a bed and breakfast, imagining live performances hosted in their converted barn. Josh assures her he can fund it by continuing to submit invoices under his late mother's name. When Austin returns home, his behavior is distant and evasive. Ashley presses him about the session, but he avoids specifics. She suggests getting closer to Eunice to secure his position, but Austin quickly shuts it down. Instead, he distracts himself by reviewing the invoices Ashley forgot to send, noticing repeated payments to Marta Diaz. Ashley dismisses it and focuses on arranging a lunch with Eunice. The lunch proves uncomfortable. Austin is tense at first, but gradually connects with Eunice over shared cultural ties, leaving Ashley feeling excluded. Later, Austin grows uneasy about the situation and tells Ashley to retrieve his fake physical therapy license from Josh's office, planning to withdraw from the job. Meanwhile, Josh and Lindsay decide to try for a baby again, though Josh hesitates. After receiving an invitation from Troy, they visit another bed and breakfast featuring live entertainment. The experience makes them realize how difficult their own plan may be. In Seoul, Chairwoman Park works to contain the fallout from Dr. Kim's mistake, preparing financial arrangements to silence those involved. Austin later meets Eunice again to withdraw his application, but instead mentions the suspicious payments tied to Marta Diaz, suggesting they could cut costs. Eunice asks him to send the invoices, and the connection between them deepens further. Ashley, unaware of this, goes to the club to retrieve Austin's fake license. Meanwhile, in Seoul, Chairwoman Park reviews the invoices with her legal team and discovers Josh has been funneling repeated payments of $4,999 through his mother's name. Soon after, she contacts Josh under the pretense of discussing his contract. During the call, she reveals she knows about the embezzlement. Expecting to be fired, Josh apologizes and offers repayment, but instead she allows him to remain in his position. That night, Austin returns home in high spirits, claiming confidence about the job, despite earlier doubts, confusing Ashley. The next morning, Eunice announces the gym's transformation into a wellness center, naming Austin as the full-time physical therapist. Ashley is caught off guard, especially by the way Austin looks at Eunice. Later, Josh continues approving payments, now directed toward multiple Korean names, each for the same amount, suggesting a broader scheme tied to Chairwoman Park. Meanwhile, Austin confesses to Ashley that he feels attracted to Eunice. Shocked, Ashley opens the car door while it's still moving and jumps out. Disoriented, she runs into the woods, loses her footing, and falls into a body of water. Austin pulls her out and rushes her to the hospital. Inside the ER, he handles the check-in, while Ashley sits alone, shaken. Using his phone, she tries reaching her father, but he brushes her off, distracted at a basketball game. She hovers over her mother's contact, but decides not to call, revealing distance from both parents. When Austin returns, he delivers unexpected news. Her insurance will not cover the visit or any treatment. The realization overwhelms Ashley. Trying to help, Austin leaves briefly to get her a drink. While he's gone, Ashley goes through his phone after receiving a message from Eunice. She finds nothing explicit but sends Eunice a warning not to text again, then deletes the messages along with the entire thread. Austin comes back and notices Eunice has sent a simple reply. Ashley reacts nervously but says nothing. As they wait, her knee pain worsens. Soon after, Josh arrives at the hospital, claiming he heard about Ashley through Chairwoman Park. Ashley hides her involvement in messaging Eunice, while Austin grows suspicious and checks his phone, unable to find evidence of what was deleted. Josh pulls Ashley aside and pressures her to delete any backup of the video of his fight with Lindsay. In return, he offers access to better medical care. Ashley refuses, and the exchange turns tense before Josh leaves. Moments later, Ashley experiences intense abdominal pain. As it worsens, neither Austin nor Ashley can get immediate attention from staff. Only after she collapses do the nurses respond and rush her in. Initially, doctors struggle to identify the problem, but when the pain spikes again, they determine it's an ovarian torsion and move her into emergency surgery. While she's in surgery, Austin speaks with Eunice and learns that Ashley had been texting her from his phone. The discovery shakes his trust. After the procedure, Ashley briefly wakes to a version of events where everything is fine and her ability to have children remains intact, but it quickly fades. When she wakes again, Austin tells her the truth. The doctors had to remove one of her ovaries. Still processing the news, Ashley is visited by the hospital's owner, who says he was sent by Josh and will arrange her discharge. Back home, Ashley is physically weakened and emotionally drained. Her anger intensifies when Josh texts her, referencing the hospital visit as if he had helped. The message pushes her toward retaliation. She goes to Josh and Lindsay's house and waits until they leave. Once inside, she moves through their home, disturbing their belongings. In the kitchen, she contaminates their orange juice with her own blood. Before leaving, she finds Josh's bag and takes photos of several invoices tied to the country club. As she exits, she unknowingly leaves the door slightly open. Their dog, Burberry, slips out and runs free. Next, we see Josh at home, distracted on a phone call as he pours himself a glass of orange juice, the same juice Ashley secretly tampered with. Just as he's about to drink it, Lindsay walks in and casually warns him about the sugar. Their attention quickly shifts when they realize Burberry is missing. The back door is slightly open, and panic sets in. They split up to search. Lindsay calls out for the dog outside, while Josh checks with a neighbor for security footage. There's no sign of Burberry, but the neighbor mentions seeing a small green car nearby earlier. Unbeknownst to them, Ashley's. The couple drives around calling for their dog until they receive a call from a local shelter claiming to have found him. When they arrive, it turns out to be another dog of the same breed. Despite knowing it isn't Burberry, They're persuaded to take the dog home temporarily. Back at the house, tension explodes into a heated argument over who left the door open. Frustrated, Josh leaves for work. At the country club, Troy notices his state and offers an escape, inviting him on a trip to his chalet in Utah. Josh accepts, and they leave on Troy's private jet for a party. Meanwhile, Lindsay canvasses the area, putting up missing dog flyers. She notices one shop owner throwing her flyer away moments after she leaves, adding to her frustration. While continuing her search, she unexpectedly runs into Ashley and Austin speaking with someone about the missing dog. Ashley explains they saw the flyers and wanted to help. As Lindsay opens up about Burberry, Ashley struggles internally, realizing her earlier actions indirectly caused this. She offers to help search, while Austin returns to work. As the two search together, their dynamic softens. Ashley shares details about her recent surgery and reassures Lindsay, even criticizing Josh after hearing about their strained marriage. As night falls, Lindsay arranges a ride for Ashley and continues searching alone. Elsewhere, Josh returns from Utah with Troy. During the flight, Troy suggests that Josh might be involved with Ashley, though Josh denies it. Despite the suspicion, Troy reminds him that Lindsay is important to him. Back in the woods, Lindsay hears faint whimpering and follows the sound. She discovers a coyote carrying Burberry. Acting instantly, she attacks the animal and manages to free the injured dog. She rushes him to a veterinarian where Josh meets her. As they wait, emotions surface. Lindsay tells Josh she wants a divorce, and though it clearly affects him, he agrees. Moments later, the vet delivers devastating news. Burberry didn't survive. Josh and Lindsay come back at home, their relationship fractured. Josh quietly takes the pitcher of orange juice from the fridge and finally drinks from it, while Lindsay walks away deeper into the house. In Seoul, Chairwoman Park meets with her chief counsel to address the fallout from the patient's death at Trocos. Although they've already bribed staff to remain silent, the police are beginning to investigate. The concern grows as authorities may soon question Eunice and Whoosh. While neither knows about the incident, the council warns that financial records could expose everything. It becomes clear that the payments Josh has been approving at the country club are being used to funnel money to Trocos employees to keep them quiet. To legitimize the flow of money, Chairwoman Park and her council decide to introduce medical tourism packages through Monte Vista Point, creating a legal connection between the club and the clinic. Back in America, Josh and Lindsay review their divorce terms. They agree to sell the house and split the money, while Josh keeps the dachshund they adopted. Lindsay questions whether his contract extension has been finalized, warning him not to betray her financially. At Ashley and Austin's home, tension lingers. Ashley is overwhelmed by hospital bills, while Austin tries to reassure her. Due to his confession about Eunice, Ashley now checks his phone regularly, monitoring his messages to rebuild trust. At the country club, Josh announces the new partnership with Trocos, encouraging staff to sell packages for commission. Meanwhile, Lindsay attends a party to consult a lawyer about whether she's entitled to Josh's future earnings. She leaves without a clear answer. Josh soon learns Lindsay has mentioned their fight video during legal discussions, raising the stakes. Elsewhere, Lindsay approaches Ashley and offers to help her connect with influential club members, specifically Ava, whose cousin is a renowned OBGYN. Though her motives are unclear, Lindsay positions herself as an ally. At the same time, Josh invites Austin over under the pretense of getting to know him. Both couples begin quietly using each other for their own interests. That night, Ashley tells Austin about Lindsay's plan to help her pursue fertility treatment. Though hesitant about the cost, Ashley believes commissions from selling Trocos packages could cover it. Later, Josh confronts Lindsay about meeting a lawyer and attempting to retrieve the video through Ashley. Instead of arguing, he asks her to finalize the divorce, but she refuses until his contract is secured. The next morning, Eunice approaches Ashley for past invoices sent to South Korea. Suspicious of Chairwoman Park, she wants evidence. Ashley initially agrees but changes her mind after Eunice mentions Austin, choosing instead to send the documents to Whoosh. On the golf course, Lindsay and Ashley successfully persuade Ava to engage with the Trocos packages. By mentioning Ashley's fertility struggles, they gain Ava's sympathy, leading her to offer a connection to her OBGYN cousin. They even convince her to purchase a package, setting plans in motion for a trip to South Korea. At Chairwoman Park's house, Whoosh confronts Park after reviewing the invoices Ashley sent. He uncovers the financial scheme and attempts to blackmail her for a promotion. She appears to comply, offering him a high-ranking position. However, moments later, as he leaves, he is struck and killed by a truck, abruptly ending his attempt to expose the truth. 3 weeks later, Austin at a clinic prepares a semen sample, but before submitting it, he secretly contaminates it with sanitizer, sabotaging the results. His growing doubts about his relationship with Ashley and his feelings for Eunice drive his decision. Back at home, Ashley prepares for her trip to South Korea with Lindsay and Ava. She reminds Austin to stay alert for updates about their IVF process, unaware of what he's done. After she leaves, Austin calls his mother, who urges him to end the relationship, but he remains conflicted. Elsewhere, Josh gives Lindsay updated divorce papers, confirming he signed his contract extension and arranged for her to receive half of his earnings. They part on relatively calm terms. At the same time, Eunice notices Chairwoman Park has left her phone behind and begins searching through it, uncovering evidence about the death at Trocos and the cover-up involving payments from the country club. Eunice rushes to Austin and reveals everything, including her belief that Whoosh was killed for discovering the truth. When Chairwoman Park calls about the missing phone, Eunice claims she'll return it in Seoul. Austin inserts himself into the situation, telling Park he'll also travel there. After the call, he proposes backing up the phone's data to expose everything once they arrive. Meanwhile, Chairwoman Park realizes she can't remotely wipe her phone, raising suspicion that Eunice knows more than she should. On the flight to South Korea, Ashley, Lindsay, and Ava settle in, while Austin unexpectedly joins them, claiming he couldn't stay away. Eunice works in coach, attempting to transfer data from the phone. In the restroom, she tells Austin she only copied part of it and fears someone is watching. She asks for his help, but he refuses, worried about Ashley finding out. Instead, he suggests copying the data onto a USB drive. Their conversation is interrupted when Ashley walks in and finds them together. She assumes betrayal and reacts angrily. As Austin tries to calm her in another restroom, Lindsay overhears him accusing Ashley of being responsible for Burberry's disappearance. The revelation shocks her, but she keeps it to herself. Ashley later returns to her seat with Chairwoman Park's phone and switches places with Lindsay. While listening to Ashley vent, Lindsay offers to hold the phone briefly. She then goes to the restroom, contaminates Ashley's drink, and destroys the phone by flushing it down the toilet. Back in their seats, Austin and Eunice confront Ashley about the phone. As tensions rise, they explain the danger they're all in. Lindsay then admits what she did, revealing she acted after learning Ashley's role in Burberry's death. Once the plane lands, Chairwoman Park's men meet them and search for the missing phone, but Eunice claims it was left behind. In America, Josh hears the doorbell and steps outside. Suddenly, he is grabbed from behind and injected with a syringe, collapsing at the ground. Suspended by a rope from an outdoor scaffold, he's forced to listen as one of Chairwoman Park's men reads a staged suicide note, blaming him for the embezzlement and accusing Lindsay of orchestrating the scheme. The attacker places the note on Josh and kicks away the support beneath him. As Josh struggles, the scaffold suddenly collapses, allowing him to fall. He frees himself, fights back, and kills the attacker with a box cutter before fleeing. In Seoul, Lindsay, Ashley, Austin, Ava, and Eunice are escorted by Chairwoman Park's chief counsel. As they're told they'll meet Park and Dr. Kim later, Eunice discreetly hands Austin a USB drive containing data from the phone. She escapes, drawing attention, while Austin swallows the drive to hide it. Back in America, Josh goes to Troy asking for a private jet to Seoul, but overhears Troy planning to report him. Realizing he's been betrayed, Josh leaves and prepares to travel alone. Despite his sister warning him to disappear, he heads to the airport. Meanwhile, Austin recovers the USB drive and prepares to act, but tensions with Ashley escalate. He tries to end their relationship, only for Ashley to reveal that their IVF process has produced a viable embryo. The news shakes him, and he agrees to wait before making any decisions. The next day, Josh arrives in Seoul but is immediately captured. Inside a van with Dr. Kim and the chief counsel, he's unexpectedly helped by Dr. Kim, who secretly gives him a chance to escape. Josh fights his way out and flees. At the hotel, Austin discovers the USB drive is missing, though Ashley denies taking it. Soon after, they're summoned to Trocos Clinic. Inside, Dr. Kim quietly approaches Lindsay, Ashley, and Austin, attempting to ally with them against Chairwoman Park. Before anything can happen, Park appears. Lindsay attacks her, and chaos erupts. As they try to escape, Dr. Kim is shot and killed. Josh's shout gives away their location, and they're all captured. Held separately, Josh and Lindsay decide to protect themselves by shifting blame onto Ashley and Austin. In another room, Ashley urges Austin to act, but he instead ends their relationship, accusing her of clinging to him out of fear. After he leaves, Ashley secretly passes him the USB drive through a hole in the wall. Austin escapes through the ceiling and initially heads toward the authorities, speaking with Eunice and declaring his intentions. However, he changes course and returns to the clinic, handing the USB drive to Chairwoman Park instead. At the same time, Josh chooses to confess, asking only that Lindsay be spared. Police arrive, taking him into custody as media gathers. Lindsay rushes to him, and they share a final emotional moment before he's taken away. 8 years later, Ashley is now the general manager of Monte Vista Point, married to Austin with a young child. Despite their success, their relationship feels strained. Josh, now in prison, learns Lindsay has remarried but declines to reconnect. Elsewhere, Lindsay lives a quiet life with her new family, while Chairwoman Park visits her former husband's grave, closing the story.